Hi everyone, welcome back to Pop Tales with Anamika. And today, also again, we are going to shoot two podcasts like last time. But we've got really interesting topics and we've got really interesting guests. One of the most unexpected guests, actually, we have Gargi Ranade with us. Welcome to our show. And also, we have Viraj.
Hello.
So we are going to discuss first a very popular show these days. It's Game of Thrones. It's not well. First of all, there are going to be a lot of spoilers, so be prepared for all of that. We're just going to have a friendly discussion over Game of Thrones. Why Game of Thrones is Game of Thrones, why people like it, and a little bit about the characters, what we like, what we don't like, that's all. Another thing, I have only watched till season 6, so I don't want spoilers from any of you guys from season 7, don't tell me anything. I'll start off with our guest Gargi. So, why do you think Game of Thrones is so popular? What makes Game of Thrones Game of Thrones? Makes it so attractive to people that people are just like crazy about it?
Um, the scale at which it is produced and the complexity first of all, the complexity of the plot and the story, and then the complexity of every single character. Like if a particular character does something, you know why he's doing it and what are the events that led to this behavior, what is this behavior going to result in, what are going to be other people's reactions to this person's whatever this person has done.
But what do you think Game of Thrones is? What makes it different from other shows? If I want to talk about politics, and if I want to talk about say complexity, if I want to talk about characters, their developments, how they rise, I can watch House of Cards, not Game of Thrones. That's a better show according to me.
Okay.
So which factor do you think drives people in order to watch that show? Any particular thing that you think people are attracted towards that or something?
If I had to guess, it would be the fantasy element and the setting, because it's set in so many different places that we otherwise would have no access to. Uh, so, for example, because you mentioned House of Cards, it's set against Washington DC, and there are at least a couple other shows that are set there, and
Yeah,
there are shots
there are
of the
many
White House.
scandal and all
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
exactly.
a lot of.
But let's say with Game of Thrones, you won't find many shows that have entire sequences plural in just set in the snow with just snow and the mountains and nothing else. Like there is no other color, there is no other I don't know, tree, nothing. There's nothing that you are used to in your everyday life.
Right.
So I think that makes it more
Unique.
yeah.
It's one of a kind. So
Yeah.
that's one thing.
Yeah.
What is your opinion on this matter,
I
Raj?
feel the same what she said. Like the setting which you play or talk about. It's not like every day we see a castle and people living in castle, or even the dragon fantasy part, the dragons, the mammoths, or even what do you say? Like the plot twists in the show are like something like. If you look at the show, you will always expect like at this point the story will end. At this point there will be end to this chapter. At this point, but every time the chapter is about to close, a new plot twist arrives. So there's like, okay, this happened, now this happened. It keeps pushing the viewers to view the next episode. Every episode ends on a cliffhanger. So that cliffhanger factor is what drives people to watching the next episode.
I think that Game of Thrones basically now there are more shows like The Rain, The Crown.
Yeah.
More shows have come up. One thing that one of our professors said, I don't know, Devata ma'am, she's perfect. Nobody's perfect. Well, you haven't met her. She is. And she said this in one of our lectures that people are always attracted to either violence or sex.
Yeah.
So these two things drive people mostly, and I think Game of Thrones has both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that factor works more than
Yeah.
anything in the
Yeah,
show. I think
yeah.
I believe that it's very open and it's something that you can enjoy and be like, oh, okay, I saw this in the show and I can be partial against it. I am human at the end of the day. So there are, and that brings me to this character of Cersei.
Yeah.
I feel about people admire Cersei in a way. Why would you admire such a character like Cersei? She has indulged in so many other things that we don't want to talk about all that, but she is a very what can I say? She's not a very ideal character for everybody to look up to, but
Yeah.
still people do it for some reason. I'll start off with Viraj
It's
because
not
what's
actually
your
an admiration of a way in a way. It's more of like, okay, that character is somewhat attractive in a negative manner. There are certain I'll explain on
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
There
I
are
want
certain
some male
characters.
perspective on this. That
There's
how is
not just male. It's not just male perspective. It's probably like something like liking the antagonist. Like if you look at Dark Knight, if you I don't know if you have watched the movie or not, but the character Joker was
Joker?
more
Yeah,
loved
yeah.
than the Batman himself. So it's something like that. If the antagonist is played very well, if the antagonist is built that way, though you root for that antagonist to like you start hating it, but it's like a love hate story kind of thing going on. So like you hate that character, but you want to see more of that character play. So it's that kind of a thing. It's not like admiration in the like, yeah, I want to be like him or her. It's not like that way. It's more like it's wanting to see more of that character. That's what
So
admiration is all about.
so you were basically saying the character is well played
Yeah.
by. So Lena Headey is the one.
Yeah.
She plays the character. I think she's the one to all the credits kind of go to
Yes.
her.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's his opinion. What do you think that people? Why do you think people like Cersei so much? She's one of really the most favorite characters in the show. Why?
Um, I can't speak for everyone, but personally, I think I don't I wouldn't like Cersei as a person. Like if I knew her, let's say,
Yeah,
or I
yeah,
knew
yeah.
of her through
Nobody
somebody.
does actually.
Yeah, so I don't think people like the person. I think they like the how the character is built and how she has done things, and um, so it's like people know that she's doing wrong stuff, but then there are also points where she's concerned for her children or towards her brother or completely ruthless with her husband because she literally
Killed.
could not care less.
She killed
Yeah.
him basically.
So
So
yeah.
that's one thing.
So there are like so it's complex enough to be ruthless about some things and caring beyond herself about some other things. So that sort of I think balances it out, and people choose to focus on a particular action that they found sort of relatable or I don't know something like that. So maybe
Okay.
that's why they get hooked onto her, and
Cersei. Right.
some of her dialogues and some of her sequences are so memorable, like the one
Yeah.
with power
Yeah.
where
No, power is power.
yeah,
The
power
With
is
power.
power.
Baelish and
Baelish.
It's you
yeah.
can't get it out of your head. Like once you see it, you're like, shit. Yeah, I'm gonna remember this for
Forever.
yeah. So
Exactly.
maybe that's why. So
So I have a very different opinion on this. I have never liked the character of Cersei ever. You know that I
Yeah.
discuss everything
Yeah.
with you about Game of Thrones, and I have always found Caitlyn Stark to be a better version of Cersei. I've always thought that she is a better mother, a better sister, a better daughter,
Okay.
a better wife, a better everything. So I was really a little pissed at the fact that she died too early, and why did it have to be like that? But I never really found Cersei to be dominating or anything of that. So I thought she was very helpless. Even now, she's very one-dimensional. She loves her children. I understand that. Maybe her dialogues and how she's portrayed, that's what makes her powerful. But other than that, she's a very hopeless, helpless character. According to me, that's just completely my opinion.
yeah.
So that's one thing. I want to talk about which character has impressed you immensely throughout the whole.
There are a lot of characters.
But
Like I
if you
cannot.
have to like pick one that you thought that character had the most beautiful characterization, it just
I have three characters on the list.
yeah.
Then there's one Lord Baelish, there's Lord Tyrion, and there's Jaime Lannister.
Yeah.
So all three of them characters have changed over the time. Lord Baelish has not changed, but the tricks and the plots that he keeps on coming up with. It's very hard to think that someone can think so deep about a plot. Like he plans 4 steps ahead of his plot. So he like if you take into consideration the Ned Stark's capture, or even the future in which he sells Sansa Stark to Boltons.
Yeah.
So that way he keeps plotting. He keeps plotting. His plotting does not stop. So that's why Lord Baelish is one character that is impressive in the fact that his brain does not stop. He knows his powers, and he works on them all the time.
Okay.
And considering Jaime Lannister, the transformation that we were shown from season 1 to season 7, the way the character Lord Jaime Lannister just keeps changing, that thing. And basically, I don't know if you have kept a check on it, but HBO on YouTube has come up with the history episodes of Game of Thrones, like the
Okay.
prequels of the show.
Okay.
So in that show, they have shown how Jaime Lannister was actually good, and the behavior in season 1, the arrogant brat behavior, was actually justified through the historical episodes. So that's one thing. And then there's Lord Tyrion. So he's the beloved character of the show. He's
Yeah.
like So
He's the
his
most
yeah.
famous dwarf in the wall. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's one thing.
So that's that thing. So like his character is something that everyone loves. So that's an impressive character to look up to.
Okay, so you are a writer, you write.
Yeah, not fiction, but okay,
Yeah, but you read a lot,
Yeah.
do you? So from your perspective, what do you think that which character has impressed you so much that it was like you didn't expect that from that character, you thought it was a very plain character, but it just showed immense, I don't know, it just brought out everything, like all of a sudden you were like, oh, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, I think that was Jamie Lannister, like he said, and Sansa Stark. And Jamie, because mainly for the reasons that he said, that whatever, like his character in the beginning was just like bratty and extremely cocky and completely careless about other people's feelings, recklessly, doing whatever he feels like, and
Yeah.
basically not caring about what other people, how his actions would affect other people.
Yeah.
But I don't remember which season, but like when Brienne, his sequences with Brienne,
That's season
Brienne
three.
after
That's
yeah,
season
season
three.
that's when
Yeah.
Hand
the
chop.
development
Yeah.
happens, and
I think
after
after he
that,
lost his hand, he kind of changed.
yeah,
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 a
Yes.
lot of things
yeah.
changed.
So I think after that, his character growth has been immense, and it just every time him and Brienne are on screen, I want to root for them, but then at the same time, I'm like, no, they don't. It's not right. But the
But it's
fact
more
that
It's
more
more
right
right
than
than
him being with
yeah,
Cersei.
okay,
But
that's
I
yeah.
can I'll root for them though.
Yeah. So the fact that I want to root for somebody with Jamie Lannister, when in season one I would have been like run
No,
away from
yeah,
this
yeah,
man in
yeah.
the opposite direction.
I understand.
So that's like it was a good surprise. And Sansa has been phenomenal in the seventh season. You will watch,
I'll
so I
watch.
won't be going into details, but her character has suddenly gone from this naive
Yes.
young girl to somebody who doesn't inherently command power, but she takes advantage of that, and you know sort of tells people that I'm not a girl anymore, like I can do this is my world, and I'm as much a Stark as
Any
any of
Any other.
my brothers.
brothers?
So
Yes.
yeah.
And to build up on that, the first question you asked about Cersei, she keeps on saying that I learned a great deal from Cersei. So that's
yeah.
why one of the reasons why Cersei is also beloved,
Yeah.
so that she built other characters around her.
I would. Well, that's one thing. I would have wanted her to learn from Caitlyn, but that's
But
okay. Yeah, Sansa is one of my favorite characters. I actually connect with her a lot. So I feel her characterization has been really, really, really beautiful, really impressive. Another character that I loved, I still do, because he's still alive. It's Brandon Stark. I think his characterization, he's of course he's special. He's got powers and gifts and all that. But I feel that the way he has portrayed his side of the story, how he is now kind of revealing everything, that really impresses me in a way. To be very honest, after season 5, I was like, no, I don't want to watch anymore. I was so bored. I didn't want to watch season 6. But then I watched season 6 because of Brandon Starr, because he was so impressive, and I want to watch season 7 more because he's there and a lot of things are going to be revealed and all that. Another character that I never liked, Jon Snow, ever liked it. Did you like Jon Snow, by the way?
Yeah,
Do
I
you like?
love Jon. So I think that's probably because of Kit Harington,
Yeah.
I'll be honest. But
But Jon Snow is one of the beloved characters. Currently now he's considered as the protagonist of the show also.
yeah,
At some point.
because just something about him, he has never done anything that has
That-
pissed me
Yeah.
off.
That is the
So
thing.
I'm like, okay, very easily loved. And the thing is, if there were other characters like him who would also be pure and
Yeah.
happy and good all the time, then I wouldn't probably like Jon Snow as much. But they killed Robb Stark off way too early. He was
Yeah.
like him. They killed
Yeah.
Ned Stark off. He was like him. So he is now exclusive in that sense because there is nobody else like him.
But then Daenerys is a lot like him.
No.
Definitely
No,
not.
not. There's a lot of difference. Jon Snow is
I
something
find
like
both
he's
of
the
this.
good guy in a messed up world.
Yeah.
So that's why people root for him. So like it's that one timid, tiny, good guy that he was fighting against all odds. So that's why Jon Snow is beloved. And talking about Daenerys is more instinctive driven. Like she will listen to the council, but she will do what she wants. So that's not a good nice kind of a personality. It's little different from that.
I don't like any of them, so I don't really care much. I never liked any of those characters. I thought Daenerys always had like kind of unfair advantages. She's unborn, she has dragons, blah blah blah. It's just too
And
much for
On
me.
the other
Yeah.
hand, she was married off to somebody who did not.
Care
Yeah,
for her, yeah.
it was not like a good marriage, so to speak.
But in the book, actually, it's written that way that the first night that they spent, it was actually of her consent. But in the show, it's shown as that it was forced.
Yeah.
So that was one perspective that they messed up in the
So
show.
I'll just since I haven't read the books, I'm just
Yeah, I
saying the
mean,
TV show.
I'm still.
Yeah.
Kid.
So no, as in I'm saying that her marriage was not exactly her decision.
Yeah, yeah,
It was
that's
more of
true.
a political decision. And so once she got used to it, then her husband dies. So it's so and then she has to deal with all the Dothraki,
Yeah,
the
yeah, people.
obsession
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
with how you don't have a husband and how you have zero power and this that, and then she comes up and then she is reborn and
Yeah.
whatever,
From the pyre
and then
of
she gets dragons and then she faces problems because of her dragons, because people are like we can't keep them, they're
Yes.
not pets.
Yeah.
So I don't think she had it easy,
She didn't, but still.
but so
In
She
yeah.
had
fact, somehow I
dragons.
feel Brandon Stark is more fantasized than Daenerys Targaryen. This is my honest opinion because he has like, how can you say, undescribable powers. Like how does he keep gaining so much power in so less time compared to Daenerys Targaryen? Like I can understand dragons going stronger, but the power of the three-eyed raven, that's too much to digest in one time.
Well, I have read Lord of the Rings. I have loved Lord of the Rings. So Brandon Stark, Lord of the Rings, kind of similar, things, magic, but dragons.
Yeah,
Still
but
too
it's
much.
not Lord of the Rings.
It's worse than Lord of the Rings.
Oh.
So, anyways, we're kind of we're absolutely in the end because we talked a lot today because there was a lot to talk about. So, quick, I would want to know. Season 8 is coming in 2019, I guess. Well, you cannot talk much because I haven't watched season 7, but just tell me in brief, avoiding all the spoilers. What are you expecting, Gargi? What are you expecting in season 8? Anything that
I'll be
characters?
extremely honest,
Yeah.
and I'm
Right.
not expecting shit because it's been it's been how long since season 7 came out?
Last year.
A year.
See, 2017.
Yeah, and now they're taking another year
Yeah.
for the next season to come out.
There's
and
one thing that I know I read on Twitter, I guess, that they are making the longest
Longest war sequence, 55
battle
days. Yeah,
scene or something.
Okay, but at this point, I'm just losing interest very, very quickly because there is very little to go on,
Yeah.
and I don't like fantasizing about things and hypothesizing and
Yeah.
drawing theories and this will happen, that will happen. I don't know. When
You're
it
ready
comes
for anything,
Yeah,
whatever
I'm ready
happens,
for
happens.
anything. Matlab,
Okay.
sign on.
Anything that you
I
want to
would,
see more of?
The first task is avoiding any spoilers.
Yeah.
That's a big deal for me right now to think of.
But still,
But
I know
to
all the
expect-
characters were alive and
Yeah,
all
yeah.
that, so I know that
But
much.
you still don't know what happens in season 7, so that's a different thing. So what happens is season 8, as she said, like it's been too long for people to actually remember what happened in season 7 finale. People have actually forgotten that there were only 7 episodes in season 7, not 10.
Exactly, yeah.
So even in season 8 they are saying like 6 or 7 episodes. So say expecting that, I'm only expecting long episodes, 1 hour 20 minutes episode. That's what they'll be coming out with.
Do you have any specific expectations from the longest battle scene of the series?
I believe there will be a huge battle. It'll be a very interesting battle sequence if I'm expecting that if they're keeping it for 55 days, I'm expecting a long battle between the night walkers and the living.
The White Walkers.
Yeah, the White Walkers and the living. So I'm expecting something like that. But other than that, I don't feel like there will be much to see.
But that is going to be the end of Game of Thrones. Like that's the last season. Okay, so that's it. We had a really interesting discussion. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for listening in, and also join us for the next podcast that will be released next week, I guess. And we'll talk about something else, another interesting topic. And Valar Morgulis.
Valar Dohares.
Bye.